So next up, we have an article about politician who we have not talked about yet on this channel, about Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, or Ocasio, not quite sure how you pronounce it, don't really care. We got Democratic Socialists of America withdraws conditional endorsement of Ocasio Cortez, or Ocasio Cortez. The Democratic Socialists of America, DSA group, withdrew its support for its conditional endorsement of Representative AOC after it said she is not supportive enough of the Palestinian efforts to end the Israel-Hamas war. I thought she was quite pro-Palestinian, ending the war. This comes as a bit of a shock, but okay. In a memo Wednesday, the DSA credited Ocasio-Cortez for her courageous work on Palestine, but took issue with some of her recent moves, including her Ocasio-Cortez panel with leaders from the Jewish Council for Public Affairs, who the group said are lobbyists for the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism. I see. Actually, I'm quite surprised that she actually hosted a panel like this. I would not think she would be much, friendly towards Israel, or friendly is a wrong word. It's like tolerant is the correct word, that she would be tolerant enough to actually give a platform to some leaders from Jewish Council. This comes as a little bit of surprise. This sponsorship is a deep betrayal to all who have risked their welfare to fight Israeli apartheid and G-war throughout political and direct action in recent months and in decades past, DSA said in its statement. Although they could have just bought her, that's always possible. I mean, I would expect she is a wasteful person who likes to buy some pretty stuff in the background. Plus, she's also married, so, maybe some investment, so her marriage actually doesn't fall apart. But I don't know how her husband looks or acts, or I don't know his personality. Ocasio-Cortez, once seen as one of the Democratic Party's most outspoken progressives, has now been criticized by those who want the war in Gaza to end over her support for President Biden and his funding for Israel. In June, DSA's National Political Committee vowed to endorse Ocasio-Cortez so long as she publicly opposed all funding to Israel, participated in the DSA committee, publicly opposed criminalization of anti-Zionism, and publicly supported efforts to end Israel's settler colonialism. I mean, I know she is kind of a Bernie Sanders fanger, however, I have no idea what are Bernie Sanders' views on this. If she has such views or on the conflict, or she gives platforms to people such as the ones from the Jewish Council, then I would expect Bernie Sanders has some sort of a similar agenda, or maybe she separated from Bernie Sanders. I don't know, I don't follow American politics so closely, and frankly, I do not really care what AOC does. The group said thousands of its members have provided input about the prospect of a national endorsement of the New York Congresswoman. DSA said its members supported endorsing her because of her many courageous positions on Palestine, but also with Ocasio-Cortez would demonstrate a higher level of commitment to Palestinian liberation, and the more than 38,000 Palestinians killed by the ongoing war in Gaza. A national DSA endorsement comes with a serious commitment to the movement for Palestine and our collective socialist project, DSA said, adding, to build a socialist movement that's capable of defeating capitalism, we must demand more from leaders in our movement. Somehow I think that DSA is corrupt. Somehow I think like it. Mostly because it's a American organization, so that's basically given that they have some level of corruption always. We must demand more from leaders in our movement. No, we must demand more from our politicians, and we must demand that our politicians actually uphold the promises they give us in pre-election times. DSA said its National Political Committee received a request from NYC DSA-SC to withdraw the endorsement for Ocasio Cortez earlier this week because we have not seen evidence of AOC meeting these conditions, and at the request of NYC DSA-SC, the NPC is withdrawing a conditional endorsement of Representative Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, although she will remain endorsed by our New York City chapter. The group wrote, NPC is withdrawing conditional support. Okay, alright, so I already have an idea for a thumbnail. Yeah, I already have an idea for a thumbnail. That's going to be a good one. Ocasio Cortez defeated former Representative Joe Crowley, Democratic New York, a 10-term incumbent in the 2018 Democratic primary. 10 terms. Like, one term is like 4 years, if I remember correctly. So he was on that position for 40 goddamn years. As I stated before, there should be limit to such terms. In my humble opinion, you should probably be able to serve maximum 16 to 20 years. I think the 16 years is better as the maximum length for serving in political positions, in all political positions to be more precise. So it cannot be that you can serve 16 years as a mayor, then 16 years as a congressman, then 16 years as a senator. No, 8 years as a mayor, then 8 years as a congressman, and then you're done. You're out of politics. Period. The only exception is you can add 10 extra years or 8 extra years if you run for the president and you are elected. That is one exception that should be given to you. Otherwise, yeah, you spent your time there. Now get the hell out. That should be democracy. That we should not be allowed dynasties to actually form or have any sort of dinosaurs reside in political positions for like 40 years. That's simply unacceptable. She was 29 at the time and became the youngest woman and the first female member of the DSA to be elected to Congress alongside Representative Rashida Tlaib. Oh yeah, Tlaib has been quite vocal on the war in Gaza, if I remember correctly. We already had an article about her earlier. I believe it was like a month or two ago. One of my first videos. I might leave it in the description. Content continues below survey. There's no survey. The Hill has reached out to Ocasio Cortez for comment. Well, there's nothing more, so unfortunately there's nothing more. But yeah, this is quite interesting. So I don't know any of her positions on Israel-Palestinian border. I frankly do not care. I do not care what other people think about conflicts. I make my own opinion about it. I will definitely comment it, however, I don't really care what opinion do you have. If it's a bad opinion, and by bad opinion I mean dangerous opinion that could theoretically lead to actually casualties, then obviously I'm gonna speak out about it. However, I don't know. I'm just buying time. I really don't know what to say about her. The only time I know about her existence was when she was doing the massive Twitch stream with like big Twitch streamers, when XQC was all wet about her, making, like 20,000 tweets about her or whatever. That's an hyperbole. He made like one tweet. So yeah. And otherwise, I know she is a Bernie Sanders fanger, or used to be. That's about it. That's about everything I know about this woman. 2018, so she's like 34 years. The youngest woman ever elected. However, the average age for the Congress still goes up, I believe. Or maybe that's only for Senate. However, probably for both, to be honest. I saw the graph, I might put it in the video, that both Senate and Congress are getting... Well, Senate sure is getting older. Not sure about Congress, however, yeah, it should be alarming to the to the American people, and they should demand something be done about it. Because if the average age for like 100 senators is like, what was it, like 54 years old now, 52? Well, probably even more actually. We'll see. I'm gonna see the graph and then I'm gonna put it in the video. You can form your own opinion about it. For me, it's very alarming and very shocking. So that's everything I wanted to say.